Hi, we're here. We're talking about Kick-Ass with John, who was the artist, designer, did pretty much everything art-related for this film.
I wash floors and I wash windows. Sure.
Let's talk about the film, and you guys did a pretty faithful adaptation from the comic book to the film. You want to talk about the process a little bit for you?
The process was that Matthew Vaughn, the director, loved the comic and loved the series. Jane Goldman and he, based on our story, created the screenplay. And to have it visually so close to the comic in so many ways, it's two things. Either the comic is that good or Matthew is just a fan of that particular moment. I'll take either compliment. But I was blown away that he enjoyed the visuals so much, the storytelling so much, that Mark and I put together, that I don't know how to say it anymore, that it's just that it's the highest form of flattery there is as a comic book artist.
Well, and also the fact that throughout the movie we see different pieces of your art just scattered,
yeah,
and everyone in the movie apparently draws exactly like you do. So, I mean, that's definitely a form of flattery. But how was it just adding those little pieces here and there into the film?
They asked for the Wall of Villains, quote unquote, where all of the conquests are enshrined up on Nicolas Cage's wall, and I had to do those 50 drawings. What it did for me, I can only speak personally. What it did for me was make me float about 6 inches off the ground for a period of time. And then I heard about the animated sequence. And actually, instead of just having the rights used, my rights to the book being purchased, so to speak, I actually was involved in the film process where I was a small P producer. I still can't explain that. This may not happen again. I'm hoping it happen 3 or 4 more times, but even if it doesn't happen again, this is those once-in-a-lifetime things that you tell people about. I had this experience, and it's fantastic. It's such a big form of flattery and a big compliment. It means two things, that I'm telling stories properly in comics, or somebody just got swoggled once, and I really put one over on the public, and something's going to happen. I like to think it's the former, that it's a quality of product for 2 reasons: good comic and good director.
It definitely comes across that way, and very big fan of your artwork. After this film, obviously we want to see Kick-Ass 2. Is there any other film, like superhero related, that you would like to have your art work on, focused in?
Yeah, I have 2 or 3 projects on my own, the creations of my own that I'm working on. One is a project I had done previously called The Gray Area, and there's people interested in that. But there's an interesting story that I came up with, a project came up with called Schmuggy and Bimbo, that I'm working with Howard Chaykin on. Okay. It's my creation based on 2 guys that my parents grew up with in the 40s, 2 leg breakers. And those are live people that are now placed in the 70s and in New York City. And it's my pet project right now. Kick-Ass 2 is I'm working on that at the same time, but this is real important to me.
Well, hopefully we'll get Kick-Ass 2, 3, 4 down the line.
Yeah, that would be nice. I will accept that.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. You're here at Comics Online.